Hey there, if you're loving the tips so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button and then click on the bell as well so you never miss out on more cool free tips coming your way. And also, would love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think or what you want to see next.
But let's just what are we talking about today, man? I
So
like
this is it, Steve. I was just so blown away on Breakfast Club today because we were
yeah,
talking about objections. We were talking about
yeah.
the big objection, of course. I've already got a lender. But what I saw come out of that was people were offering their how they overcome the objection, right?
Yep.
But then these modifiers were getting
Oh,
thrown
that
in
was
there. And
cool.
Carl
Yeah.
White is
Yeah.
so good
So
at just
smooth. Yeah.
hearing a response. You know what I might would do? And that's how he says it. You know what I might would do?
Hey, that's
might
really good. You know
what I
one little
might
tweak I
would
might
do.
make. Yeah.
I love the way he does that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
not saying to do it, but what I would do is
Yeah. Yeah.
and like one of them that really stuck out to me was telling a story, right?
Oh
Telling a
yeah.
story.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you get the realtor on the call. I've already got a lender. Of course you already have a lender. Of course you do, right? But here's just something that I wanted to share with you. This is something that happened, in my office. I had a deal recently that
Yeah.
this happened, and this is how we overcame it, you
Yeah.
know. And so I was wondering if we could talk a little bit about that
Let's
because
do it.
the story modifier or the if I could would you modifier, right? Really really neat ways to
Yeah.
take this, standing objection if I've already got a lender, right?
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
just like that brick wall that gets thrown up there, it's going to be there. And being able to, first of all, knock the knees out from under him a little bit. So I know you got a lender. I'm not calling to be
Yeah.
your lender today. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But I want to let you know something happened recently, like tell the story but if I could do this, would you do that? I'd like to explore that a little bit with you because you're so good at it. And
Yeah.
and I think people will get a lot out of it. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that we talk about in our network all the time, right? So
Oh,
the people
100%.
on our network, loan officers in our network, they get a daily dose of this
Yeah.
all the time,
Yeah.
right? But for those that are listening who aren't part of the network yet, hopefully or right now, I think I think this is a great little value piece to let them know so that it'll
Yeah.
help. This can help. There's that objection. I've already got a lender. You know what I
Hey, well, of
mean?
course you
Yeah.
do, Frank. Hey, you know what it is?
Yeah.
And we talked a little bit about it on Breakfast Club is there are a handful of objections. And Frank, if you're making outbound prospecting calls and you're talking to agents that aren't actively working with you, you're going to get it. And it's like, what are the handful of them? The number one is, hey, I already got a lender. And I think part of what we talk about in I've already got a lender is understanding that there's no qualified agent. Like, let this blow your mind, Frank. There's no qualified agent in the United States that is not already got a lender.
Right.
Like, if they're closing a home, the purchase or the sale of a home that has a finance transaction, there is a loan officer on the
Right.
other end. And so when you realize, look, I'm going to let myself off the hook, it's not that serious. Like, this isn't a life or death game. We're just playing a game. The game is,
Right.
can I convert more of what I don't already have? That's it.
Yeah. Love
So,
it. Great way to
hey,
look at it.
and what I think about this is this objections, like when I'm thinking about a rebuttal, is all I'm trying to do. And I know you did this as a kid. I did. I have a twin brother, and he and I used to do it. And I don't know why dumb boys do that. Like it's like a dude thing. I don't know. But you'll be standing straight up, your legs are locked, and somebody will kick right at your knees, and
Yeah. They stick their knee behind your knee without you
yeah, and
knowing
you
it.
like you like fumble
Yeah.
back a little bit. And I
Right.
don't know why that was so much fun. It's kind of dumb, but when I think about a rebuttal to an objection, that's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to knock somebody off balance in a cool
Mm,
way.
mm.
Because see, what they think is they're gonna shut me down. You know why, Frank? Because the last time they told some lender who had the guts to prospect them, and they said, "Hey, Frank, man, I already got a lender." You know what the other lender said? All right, well, hey, just it was great talking to you. It goes back to this. The greatest analogy that I can think of, and it's like this is the aha moment. Frank, we walk into the department store, and it doesn't matter wherever you shop at, Nordstrom's or Saks Fifth Avenue or J.C. Penney's or Dillard's or wherever you go, it doesn't matter. We walk in, or you walk in, and I'm standing there as the attendant. And you're walking in, you're kind of bebopping in, minding your own business. And I walk up to you and say, "Hey, Frank, can I help you today?"
Mm.
And you're
And
going to say,
I said, well, no, I'm just looking, man.
Yeah, well, so do 90% of the population. They're good. Like
Right.
a very, very small percentage will say, "Yeah, you can help me. I'm looking for shoes. Please walk me to the shoes department."
Right.
And when that happens, it's a layup. We'll take it.
Sure. We'll take it.
But most people, if you're listening, you're like, "No, I'm just looking. I'm good." And you know what happens is, most like the attendant. I have never, ever, ever in my entire life of walking into a store ever had an attendant ask a follow-up question that compelled me to take action.
Yeah.
And Frank, I was working on this because I love the scripting. It's what I'm known for. I love conversion. And you know what I really realized was this: all they have to do is ask one more question.
Mm.
And look, they won't convert all of them, but if I could ask one question or have one rebuttal that would convert 60% of them, wouldn't that be good?
Yeah.
And so what I think people are trying to do when they're thinking about rebuttals and overcoming objections, they're like, Frank, I didn't convert them all. You never will. I'm only looking for buyers. I'm
Mm.
looking for the people that have buy signals. And with one question more, one rebuttal, I can probably get about 60% of the population to at least take a next step with me.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
out of the 60% that take a next step with me, I'll probably get 20 or 30% of them to take a third step.
Mm.
So all I'm doing, it's like walking through doors. I'm trying to go from one door to the next door. And guess what? 30-40% fall off. I go to the next door, 30-40% fall off. I go through the next door. There's my tribe. That's
Mm.
it.
Yeah.
And so, Frank, you walk in the department store. Here's the power. You walk in the department store and you're kind of bebopping like you always do. You
Mm.
just got off your cool bike and I saw you and I'm like, I'm going to help this guy. You bebop in and I say, hey, good to see you today. Can I help you find something?
And I say, no, I'm just looking.
Hey, well, are you looking for hats? Are you looking for shoes?
Yeah, I gotcha. And then I might say, well, actually, no, I'm looking for a coat.
Awesome. Hey, well,
Yeah.
listen, would you mind if I walk you over to the coat department? And man, we got some great coats. Let me show you what we got.
Yeah.
And look, hey, but at every one of those, Frank, and it's important to go through this illustration because you may say, if I say, are you looking for hats or shoes? And by the way, everybody, I could say, are you looking for underwear or socks,
Right.
shirts
Doesn't
or
matter.
blouses? It
Yeah.
doesn't even matter. Like you're thinking your rebuttal's got to be perfect. Look, there was a book I read years ago, and it really helped me with this called Challenge Your Sale. It was a great book, and it's about challenging people. When you challenge somebody, it's a pattern interrupt in their mind. You know
Mm.
why, Frank? Nobody has the guts to challenge. Hey,
Right.
Frank, oh, you're just looking. Most people cower away versus,
Right.
hey, you're looking for hats or shoes. You're looking
Yeah.
for underwear or socks, shoes or belts. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. And look, some of them will say, no, I'm just looking. Totally cool. But the ones who say, no, I'm looking for a jacket. Awesome. Would you mind if I take you to the jacket department? Now,
Mm.
listen to this. Some of them will say, no, I'll walk to the jacket department myself. And some will say, yeah, show me some jackets.
Yeah.
And so it's just because they're favorable doesn't mean you're still going to get them. I'm just helping them walk through the doors to find out who the buyers are. And
Right.
that's how you find your tribe. And I think you got to lay that foundation because it's the simplest way to think about rebuttals. So, Frank, when somebody says, "Hey, brother, I already got a lender,"
Right.
here's the very and look, I would encourage people don't over talk or talk past a sale. Like, hey, you already got a lender. Of course, you got a lender. You're a great agent. Great agents already have lenders. I'd still love to treat you to a cup of coffee and hear what it is you're doing to have great success.
Mm.
That's it. Like
Mm.
the shorter, the sweeter. Hey, I just, Frank, like let's role play this. And so, hey, Frank, man, I would love to. Yeah, hey, Frank, Steve Kyle, Steve's Awesome Mortgage Company. I saw your numbers. Man, they're outstanding. And I was thinking to myself, it'd be a disservice if I didn't call you and try to book a 15-minute call to see what you're doing to have great success in today's marketplace. Hey, I'd love to treat you to coffee. How about tomorrow at 2 or Thursday at 3?
Mm. So I could say, no, I've already got another lender.
Yeah, hey Frank, of course you got a lender. You're a great agent. Great agents have great lenders. I'd still love to treat you to coffee because when I saw your numbers, I just thought 35 buy-side transactions, absolutely remarkable. I got to hear your story. I want to hear what you're doing to have great success. How about tomorrow at 2 or Thursday at 3?
Yeah. It's really good.
Hey, and
I-
listen, but here's the thing though, Frank, and remember, and this is where everybody gets stuck. Yeah, but they still told me no, as would 30, 40, 50%.
right.
So you just got to call again and say it again and say it again because
Right.
See, everybody's like, well, that rebuttal didn't get me every one of them. It won't. I'm only like, all I'm doing is it's almost like I'm like halving, 50%ing everybody who's walking in by just
Right.
having one thing in place. And then they say, well, hey, I'm too busy. Well, of course you are, Frank. You're crushing it in the market. I'd still love to have a cup of coffee.
Mm,
Like, I don't care what your rebuttal is. I still got to hear your story. I'd still
mm,
love to jump on a 15
mm,
minute Zoom. I'd
mm,
still love to meet you in person around the corner. I'll actually come to your office. Like,
mm,
it doesn't matter to me what they say. I'm still going to try to walk them through the door. And the less I say, the more impactful it is. Hey,
mm,
hey, Frank, you're not going to get my business. I'm loyal to another lender. Well, of course you're loyal. I'd expect
mm.
no less.
Right.
The purpose of the call is to hear your story. Like,
Right.
you're crushing it. I've got to hear what you're doing to
Yeah.
crush
Yeah. I just need
it.
15 minutes,
Yeah,
20
hey,
minutes. I would just
hey,
love to hear what you're doing. Yeah.
throw another rebuttal at me. I don't care. Pick one. Like, you and I hadn't planned this. What's another one?
Okay. I'm busy right now.
Of course you're busy, Frank. Look at your numbers. If I was closing 35 buy side transactions this year, I'd be busy too. I'd still love to hear your story and what you're doing to have great success. How
Mm,
about, instead of 30 minutes, let's do 15 minutes
mm,
tomorrow at 2.
beautiful.
Give me another rebuttal or another objection.
Um, uh, um,
The
I,
dreaded, send me
huh?
your email.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going to go with it. Yeah. Well, just send me something.
Hey, Frank, I will. Hey, first off, let me make sure I got your email here. Blah, 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 blah. I'll send you the email. Hey, but you know what I found out, Frank? I can't hear your story in an email.
Yeah.
I've got it. The purpose of this call is to hear your story
Mm,
because of the success you've got. And
mm,
man, I'm telling you, I'm a student of success. And when I saw your numbers, I literally thought I will kick myself if I don't get on a 15-minute call to hear what Frank Garay's doing. Brother, you are literally the top 4% in the entire country.
right.
And if nobody is honoring you for being the top 4%, then that's their bad. But I recognize it, and I'm not getting off this call till we have 15 minutes.
Wow. That's really powerful, Steve.
Hey, but do
That's
you
great.
hear the passion? Like,
Yeah,
everybody
and
will
I like
fumble
the way you say it
through.
too. You're 50%ing it, right? You know, it's like you still might get some that say no. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You never know. But asking the next question, or like you said, with the is it shoes or socks? You know, it's increasing my chances of
that's
securing that
it.
appointment by at
That's
least
it.
50%, right?
That's
You know,
it.
because you're
That's
going to
it.
get somebody say, okay,
Yeah.
you know, you're going to say, sure, sure, sure. And then we know where we go from there. And if you don't know where you go from there, that's another reason why I want to talk to us about being part of the network,
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
because
Love it.
we have to go somewhere from there, right? To make this all play out properly. But man, Steve, that's just really great stuff, man. I
Hey,
appreciate
and
it. Yeah.
and I just want to encourage everybody too, is that when so I heard somebody today on Breakfast Club, Frank, and you know what they said? Oh, it wasn't great. Or who was it? I heard somebody say, yeah, my rebuttal wasn't great. And you know what I thought? And I didn't get a chance to say it, but it's like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. Just don't stop when they say, I already got. Look, there's only, if you want to make a killing in this industry, learn the 3 to 5 objections in every stage. Like,
Mm,
on this one, what's the objection? I'm too busy. There's not many. I'm too busy. I
mm.
already got a
Got a
lender.
lender.
Send me an
Send me an
email.
email.
What else?
Right.
Like,
Uh,
hey, uh, oh, you're the fourth lender that called this week.
oh yeah, yeah.
That's it. That, I mean, there in all of those can be overcome with the one thing. Hey, listen, totally get. I'm the fourth lender this week, but I want to hear your story. They were probably trying to get something from you. I'm trying to hear your story.
Mm, mm,
So I don't even care what you throw up.
mm.
It's still just the one next step, and understanding some of them move forward, some won't. You just got to make more calls.
Here's
Hey,
one.
and I hope this helps everybody. Look, you know, Frank, and maybe we'll talk about this next week. But the biggest, I hear it all the time. Man, I'm struggling with call reluctance. I'm struggling with, making the calls. I'm struggling with the consistency. And you know what I think about is this: the only way to overcome call reluctance is, number one, take action. Number two, replace the limiting belief with the truth. And the truth is, overcoming the objection is easier than you think.
Yeah.
It's not hard. And when you make the main thing, people are going to convert. You'll get to your tribe, and it doesn't take many qualified agent relationships to make a phenomenal living. So,
Wonderful stuff, man. Wonderful stuff. I think we'll just
always
leave it.
love our time together,
Yeah,
brother.
I think we'll just leave it at that. I hope that helps everybody. With overcoming these objections. It's not that hard. There's only so many of them. You got to make the main thing. Make sure you ask the follow-up question. A quick story. You bring up the department store
Yeah, oh, yeah,
story. You know, like this
yeah.
is a perfect example. This is a true story, brother. I was in Monterey with my wife this a couple months ago, and we're doing the shopping thing like you do with your wife, right? And then there was a store that she went into, and it was like, for the ladies. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to go another one of these. But right next to it, it was like Monterey Men's Store or something. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm going to go in there. I wasn't going to buy a gosh darn thing, right? I just didn't. I walk in there. Kudos to this sales guy. He approached me. What's going on, man? What you doing? I literally did that. I'm just wife's over there.
Just browsing.
I'm just looking around. You know what he said to me? He goes, "Oh, dude, I got to show you something. You want to come check this out?" And I go, "Okay." So I walk over there, and he shows me this vest, and I go, "It's not really me." He goes, "You know what else we got? Check this one out, man. This coat." And I go, "Oh, that's kind of nice." Long and short of it, I wound up buying 2 shirts from that guy.
My man,
dude, they were each over $100 because you're in.
Oh my word!
No, it wasn't even Monterey. It was the one next to it. Whatever.
So funny, man.
Yeah. I wind up buying $200 shirts. My wife is texting me. I don't even know it. She winds up walking the store, looking around. She goes, "Where have you been?" I go, "I just bought these 2 shirts."
Look at these cool shirts I just got. I didn't even know I wanted.
But it was exactly what you said. The guy, I'm just looking. Oh, cool. Let me show you what we got.
Yeah, let me show
you something, man. Let me take it. Next thing you know, I'm buying 2 shirts. So it really is just a matter of being able to knock someone off bets with. Of course, of course you got another one. Oh, did I lock up?
No, you're here. Keep going.
Oh, okay, good. I thought I locked up. Anyway, let's get out of here. Listen, guys, I hope you enjoy the show today, the podcast. Just reach out to me at frankcall.com, 15 minutes. And, we can talk about the network. We can talk about anything you've got on your mind, what you want to talk about, objections, this type of stuff, open for you, here for you. Both Steve and I are. Just go to frankcall.com. We'll chat.
Love it.
Have a good one. We'll catch you next time here on the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast.
See you.